To see you in Nigeria. We don't often see you in Ghana, so we are great to see you here.
Well, it's a pleasure.
Yeah.
We are around and we have to work behind our minister. So we try not to be the face of the ministry, allow the minister to lead. Yeah.
So now we are here for the MVCA. We have about 7 nominations as a deputy minister of the sector. How does that make you feel?
Well, first of all, let me say that I'm here representing the minister, and she asked me to come and give them the moral support, let them know that their country is behind them and that we are all pulling for them to win. And it feels good. This is my first trip here, not in Nigeria, but at least for this event. And I think that the organization is going on well. We believe that we have 7 nominees, and if we don't get all 7, at least we can get close to 4, 3, 4, and which is not bad. So we are pulling for them.
And we've been in there to see the auditorium, quite a very big one. And in Ghana, one of the things that we are fighting for, we've been talking about, is theatres and all that, so that we can, showcase our works and all that. How do you feel looking at the capacity of the centre, knowing that we do not have one of the magnitude in Ghana?
Actually, when I walked in there, I was thinking, can we host this event in Ghana? And the answer is no. It's really sad that, in 2018, we don't have any conference center or any convention center in Accra that can host beyond 2,000. And that's a sad thing. When we came in as a government, we realized that right away, and the president tasked the minister to find a way of getting a national convention center. We have the National Theatre, and some people confuse that what we are going to do is going to be a national theatre. It's going to be a national convention center. We will still have the National Theatre, but this convention center is supposed to have 5,000 sitting capacity. It's going to come along with the Marine Drive, so the location will not be too far from the National Theatre. And we think that at least that will be a good start.
When is this happening? Because the Marine Drive project we heard about just when you came to power, and yes, it's been over 2 years. Is it a year?
A year and a half, yeah. Yes. Thank God we are almost at a point where very soon, by close of 2018, you're going to see development taking place. When we came in, what we had was just the previous government securing the land by executive instrument. And so we had to do all the stakeholder agreement to make sure that the allodial owners, the chiefs and the local people were on board. So we've done that, since last year. And now we have the anchor developer. If you witness in December, I think November, December last year, the president cut the salt. So the anchor developer went on site, and as I speak now, last week we had, they came to update us where we are, and they said that they are almost 60% in terms of preparing the grounds. Now, in development, you need to service the land before you can get investors to come in. As we speak now, in terms of interest being expressed by investors, is huge. It's even beyond our own expectations. So everybody is waiting for the anchor developers to prepare the land, and then we can, really start proper development. Let me say, to be fair to the anchor developers, that when they came in, the biggest difficulties that they have is, they have people who are squatters, people who are, well, I think squatters is the wrong word, but we have people who are living there, and we are trying to move them. And there are departments, agencies of government that are there that we are trying to move. There is the art center that we are trying to move. So all of these things are actually hindering the progress of the anchor developer. And so the minister last week promised that the ministry is going to, fast track whatever processes that we need to move people so that they can have right of way to progress in preparing the land.
Now, with all these challenges, how soon are we going to have this happening?
So the president has tasked the ministry by close of 2019. We should be done with the preparation of the land. And as we get into 2020, we should see real development. But we have taken it upon ourselves that we are not even going to wait for the anchor developer to finish 100%, preparing the land. As and when they progress, we are going to get developers, investors, to start doing work. And I can tell you with all certainty, by close of 2018, by December, we're going to have some development taking place.
Are we going to see these projects done before 2020 when we go back to
It's going to be one of the legacies of the Akufo-Addo administration. And the Akufo-Addo administration is going to go 8 years. We're winning the next elections and we're going to be in power for 8 years. By close of 2020, you're going to see structures springing up. As to whether they will be complete for use, I can't say. But the president has, the president has personal interest in this, and he has tasked the minister to work with other sector ministries that are involved to see how we can get this project up. The sad thing about this project is that it started during Nkrumah's time. And so we've come a long way. And when you travel all over the world, you come home and you ask yourself, why is it the case that it's only Ghana that we actually develop our capital city with our back facing the sea? So the marine drive has come to change the attitude that you don't want your sea coast. If you can see what they are doing here, really investing in reclaiming the sea. We have the sea, the land there, and we are doing all manner of things to it. So the marine drive is to serve as, if you like, an example of how to develop the sea coast. And the ministry actually has a project of moving from Accra to Cape Coast to Western region, and then we'll come back to do Volta region in developing the sea coastline. So I am excited about the level of interest that people have shown. As we speak now, I can say with certainty that some lands have been allocated, and they are just ready, waiting for the anchor developer to service the land before they come in.
Now,
yes.
Let's move on to your one region, one theater. It looks like that has gone, has become a 9-day wonder.
No. And you can always say it's a 9-day wonder if we mount the platform in 2020 and we can campaign based on our achievements based on that.
But you said you're going to do that before 2020. So
yes,
we're not expecting that by 2020 you come back to us with the same thing.
No, before 2020 means it can be done in 2018, in 2019, even in 2020. I can assure you that next month, November, we're going to do NAFAC in Koforidua, and you're going to see the first national regional theater being opened in Koforidua. When we said regional theaters, we were not alluding to the fact that we are going to start from scratch. All across the country, we have the art center projects coming up, so regional art centers. Some of them have reached stages 70%, 80%, and so we just have to come and complete them. There are some regions where we have to start from scratch, the old ones, we have to pull them down. But I can say that by November, we are working very hard with finance to get some money to finish the one in Koforidua. So that should be done by November, because we're going to do NAFAC, so that should be ready. And we have promised the president that we want him to come and address the whole nation and the whole world from that, venue.
And so we are sure that by the time 2020,
by the time 2020, we will not have 10 regional theaters complete, but at least we'll have close to 5 or 6. Done. At least Koforidua, Tamale is coming up, I think Western region and Cape Coast. And I think Kumasi will do some work in Kumasi.
Now, my final question is what happened in Ghana recently after the xylophone invasion here. We've heard about support your own, and there's been calls for a policy of 80% Ghanaian music to be played. As a deputy minister, I'm not sure you've addressed this yet. As the concerns, have you heard about the xylophone invasion and all the things that happened here at ECHO, and the reactions of Ghanaians and the call for 80% of Ghanaian songs to be played?
Well, let me say what happened here in Nigeria was sad. Of course, we expected to come in and they will know our big stars, and when they sing, they will sing along. Every artist, every musician wants to have an audience that sing along, and so that was sad. But I think it goes back to the fact that even in our own country, we have Ghanaians, listening more to this, foreign stuff than what we produce locally. It's a free market, and my attitude about this is that our musicians, have to continue to up their game, in ways that not just production, but also marketing, and government, is always available to facilitate the process of, especially marketing. Fortunately, we are pushing the Creative Arts Bill through Parliament, and both of us, myself and the Minister, are in Parliament, and we know for sure that we have the support of our colleagues in Parliament. It will come to Cabinet, will bring it to Parliament in 1 week, sit in October. Once that gets through, there's going to be the Creative Arts Fund, and we will expect our musicians to tap into that fund to be able to use that to help, because I know we have talent. It's just a question of how we package, how we market. And as we do that, the local, we can go beyond Ghana and get into the Nigerian market. How are they able to break through our market? And we are not able to break through here. But I wouldn't say that any Ghanaian should be disappointed in just that one event that happened. Because Nigerians know, and I was telling when we launched this Afrimatin that, look, I, witnessed Patoranking and Fancy Gadam. And even though Patoranking is an international star, Fancy Gadam is just a local Tamale boy, you can see the talent, the difference. So we need to package this talent and take it out there so that people will listen to that music. So when they come out here and sing, they can sing along. And so I can assure our, musicians, we have so many music, bodies, associations and organizations that come through the ministry. And they know they have our support. In this industry, and that's one thing that people have to appreciate about our ministry. Our ministry is one ministry that is largely private sector driven. And so it takes individuals to get into the music, industry. And as much as you as government want to come in and support, you have to be careful with, how you spend the taxpayers' money in that. So that's why it was a brilliant idea to come out with this Creative Arts Fund. The president supported it. It's going to come to cabinet. We have the support of, Parliament. We have the support of Parliament. And once that passed through, that fund will be there for industry players, not for the ministry and not for government. And they can use that to really help in marketing and packaging.
But do you see it's feasible, the issue about 80% Ghanaian music and 20%
I'm one person who I don't deal with percentages and figures. If you start from 40% and you head towards 50, 60, you get to 80%. You don't, so you can even get to 100%. You can do that. I don't think if you go to, Motown or anywhere in the States, you listen to local African music or any other music. It's an American music, so we want to get to 100%. So I'm not so bogged down in the percentages, but
for 100%, if I get you right, is that what you're saying? That
I'm saying that let's not be bogged down by percentages. 20%, 80%, 40%, 60%. Let's aim to a position where we will all be happy with, the state of our music industry. So whether it is 20/80, that will make us happy, let's work at it. Whether it is 70/30, that will make us happy, let's work at it. So I don't see the magic behind 20/80. And that's what I'm saying, that I'm not all for, pinning myself down to we are working at 20/80. How about if we can get 10/90? We'll take it. Yeah, so let's work and aim high. And I think we are capable of getting there.
Do we have a venue now for the Afrimas?
A venue enough for Afrimas? Yes. I think the Accra International Conference Center is big enough. Well, that's the biggest musicians that we have. We can always improvise. Because then you have to make do with what you have. The fact of the matter is that when Nigeria hosted it for the 3-time run and they had to do the 4th time, they were looking for an alternative venue. And if in West Africa we came up and they are looking at Ghana, why not? If we have to do it, why not the
Fantasy Dome, which is a bigger
yes.
center?
Yeah, so no, I didn't say we are going to do it at Accra International Conference. Okay. I'm saying that,
we are looking at
places come into mind. And of course, we will not hijack the whole process of management. You can see what is happening in there. It's not the government, it's the private people. So we are there, we are happy, to host it, but we are there to facilitate the process, working with partners, both locally, and it's an international continental thing. So we're going to have a lot of people coming in with ideas, and the government will support that. Between now and the time that the event will happen, I can't stand here and say that we will have a convention center like this. It's not going to happen. So we have to look at what we have around and see what we can improvise to make it a success. But hopefully, by the time we get to the 3rd edition in Ghana, we'll probably have our convention center ready.
Thank you very much.